Hello, 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 hello. Hey guys. I don't really know how to start this video off, but um, I don't know. I wanted to talk while I play Celeste because I do that anyways, and I don't really have a point to it. I kind of just when I'm playing levels, uh, I kind of just talk through. I don't really know. Okay, you guys don't need to pay attention. I was just like before I was recording, I was just talking about kind of my evolution in terms of playing games because when I was younger, obviously I didn't really play much. I didn't have much of a attention span when it came to anything really. I'm like even now I'm not very good at games even when I put hours and hours into them. And it's kind of sad because you know a lot of my days and months and like a lot of it is me just playing games. It doesn't matter if it's by myself or if I'm with my friends. Can be online or in person. I just play a lot of games just like in general, and I'm just not very good at them. But that doesn't really matter. Yeah, but because I've played a lot of games, you know it's also kind of included with it a changing in taste, because when I play through games like more nowadays, it's not just my game taste, like my video game taste being changed based on what I play. I feel like this happens with like a lot of popular media. It's just like when you find something you like, it kind of internally changes something within you. I mean, unless that doesn't really happen to people, and it's just like some people, I guess. I don't know, but um, yeah, it kind of just like changes your personality a little bit. Because when it's something you like really, really like, it kind of just does that subconsciously. And especially with games like Celeste, that have like, I wouldn't say it changed my life, but there is a big message behind these indie games, and it kind of just you know changed you. I don't okay, back to the topic. Yeah, like over the years I've just had a lot of tastes in different video games and music, media. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it can change at any point. When I was younger, I did not have a PC. Okay, I did not get my first PC until 2020, and it was my brother's old PC. I'll tell you that PC sucked. Okay, I had like 8 gigs of RAM, like DDR3, like 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, like a GTX 1050 Ti. What else? Like, I know it was a very bad CPU. Okay, I'll tell you that. And it could barely run. Okay, I'm pretty sure I had like one hard drive and it only had like 250 gigabytes of space. So at any given point, I could only have like 5 games installed. And, you know, the first game I remember actually playing was back on the Xbox 360, and it was Prototype, the one with Alex Mercer, and you could transform and shit. I don't know why, I just really love that game to death. I don't know, that's the first game I remember actually playing, and the only reason I remember it is because this one memory where I was playing it in the shared room that I had with my brothers. I was playing it and I was called for like lunch or dinner by my parents, and then I just left it running, and that's the only reason I remember that memory, because I remember the menu and I was on the prologue where you have to escape from the morgue, and I don't know why that memory is like kind of stuck with me. I did buy the game. Actually, no, I didn't even buy the game. My friend gifted it to me for like $3, and I played through it, finished it. I did buy the second one. I remember buying Prototype 2 for Xbox 360 in Best Buy, and you know, my dad bought it for me because I think I was there with my dad and one of my brothers, and I was just like, oh my god, Prototype 2, and I was like, I just bought it right then and there, played through it. That was way back when. I don't even remember what year that could have been. Maybe like 2014. Maybe 2013 actually. Then when I was finished with Xbox 360, it's really funny because Xbox 360 was like my favorite console ever. I had so many games on that, and we had one of those kind of cases where you could put like 100, not 100, maybe like 50 CDs in it, and it had like, it was my dad's, so some of his like music CDs were in there, some like CDs that like had burned on movies onto it. I think one of the movies was like The Croods for some reason. I think maybe Paul Blart the Mall Cop, and the rest of it was Xbox game discs. So a lot of Xbox games were in there, except most of them didn't even work because they were scratched, and you know, Xbox couldn't read them. So, you know, because so many of the games were scratched and I couldn't play them, I had to resort for like most of my games to be demos because we were too broke to afford any other games. And I wasn't raised as a kid that asked for a lot of stuff. One thing I remember was asking my dad to buy me fidget spinners. Not even fidget spinners, just a fidget spinner back in 2017 or something. And my mom called me spoiled, like as a joke. She called me spoiled, and I was kind of confused because I was like, I only asked for one fidget spinner, and like up until that point I didn't really ask for much stuff. I didn't ask my dad to really ever buy me new games. Because, I mean, for the PS4, oh yeah, I completely forgot to talk about that. Yeah, after Xbox 360, the PS4, like the original PS4, that from like 2014, that was my new console, I guess. But the thing is, both of my brothers were like always on the PS4. Okay, so even though I had this new console I could play with, it was mostly my brothers using it for like most of the day, and I was still stuck with the Xbox 360, which I didn't really mind. I mean, I still had a lot of fun playing the Skate 3 demo and the Battle Block Theater demo. What about like Doritos Crash Course, I guess, was also there. Happy Wars. So yeah, I didn't ask my dad for really any new Xbox games or new PS4 games, because first of all, my brothers would be the ones to buy PS4 games, and you know, as a kid I was really just happy with the demos and the limited selection of games I had on my Xbox 360. But there was this one time I was like, I kind of got really bored one day when I was like maybe 10 or 11, and I asked my dad to buy me some games for Xbox 360, but I kind of didn't tell him. I mean, okay, look, he's at my age, where I was like 11, my dad, he played games like long time ago when I was a little jitnum, and the only game he played was shooter games, because he's really into like war and history, not like in a weird way, but he's really fascinated by like World War II stuff and guns, I guess. So the two games he played the most was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty World at War, and this shooter game called Homefront. I don't even know if anybody has ever played that ever. I've never met anybody that's played Homefront. There was this other Homefront game called Homefront the Revolution, and he said that one really sucked and it didn't really compare to the original Homefront. But I remember playing through Homefront, and I remember you had to like ride a bus into this like camp, like a school bus into this camp, and then that camp gets like raided or something. I don't know. But yeah, I told him to like, or I didn't tell him, I asked him to buy me some new games for Xbox 360. And at this point, it was already like 2018, man. I don't like that Xbox 360 should have died a long time ago, but it was still up and kicking. So I asked him to buy me some games, and you know, he's a dad. He doesn't know that much about gaming anymore. So he goes and buy me some games, probably from like the clearance section at GameStop. And he buys me Xbox games, but he kind of mixes them up, and he accidentally buys oh fuck. He accidentally buys some games for the original Xbox, like, you know, the actual original Xbox with like Halo Combat Evolved on it, you know? And I was just like, Dad, these are for the original Xbox, I can't use these. And, you know, I kind of feel bad. Like, I remember maybe like a year or two ago, I randomly had that memory come back to me, and I just felt so bad. I don't know why. Because I think I saw his face when, like, I remembered his face when he said, or when I told him, I can't use these games. And he was just like, he's kind of like disappointed, because, you know, I didn't really care that much, you know, it's not a big deal, but I saw his face and he was just kind of disappointed, like he kind of let me down or something. And yeah, I was thinking about that a while back, and I just felt horrible, man, because, you know, I love my dad. I love both my parents to death, really. And I would hate them. I would hate for them to feel bad because of something they couldn't do for me, you know, because they already do so much for me. I mean, they teach me stuff. They don't really get mad at me, but when they do get mad at me, I know it's for a good enough reason. You know, they're not just going to get mad at me for something stupid. You know, I know they love me unconditionally. I know they'll love me no matter what educational route I take. They just want me to have a life where I'm comfortable. And I know that, right? So when I saw my dad being kind of disappointed over something so trivial and, you know, doesn't really matter, because it's for me, I get kind of, you know, I got just kind of disappointed in myself for some reason. Like, he did this for me, and, you know, I just told him I can't use it. I mean, yeah, I couldn't use it, but yeah, it just kind of sucked. I don't really know why, but yeah, one of the games that, you know, he bought that I actually could use was Forza Motorsport. I forgot which one it was. Yeah, the disc was like orange, and that was kind of like my actual like first introduction to like cars, because I wasn't really, you know, a kid that grew up liking cars. I mean, I knew what Lamborghinis and Ferraris were. But anything other than that, I didn't really know. So that game, I don't know why sorry, I'm back. But yeah, as I was saying, my brother did really like Forza Horizon 4, and from it, because I also played it, I kind of just learned more about cars. I don't actually know what my favorite car from Forza Horizon Motorsport 4 was. But I just know I really liked it because even though I didn't really know much about cars, at that point I was already playing games like GTA 5 and especially GTA 3 on Xbox 360. That was one of the games that I had on disc that actually worked. And I really liked driving cars in GTA because for some reason GTA just has really good driving physics for some reason. And my favorite thing to do in GTA was just drive around. So that kind of pushed me to play Forza Motorsport. And I don't remember the other game that my dad bought. It might have been Kane and Lynch 2. Honestly, yeah, it might have been that. Is either that or I don't know if I'm actually thinking, because that might have just been a game I bought at like the clearance section in GameStop or EB Games. I don't know, because I don't know what other game my dad would have bought me, because I know I got 2 Xbox 360 games, and 3 original Xbox games. But okay. Yeah, after that, again, it was the PS4. So the it release day. Okay, release day. The PS4 came with 2 games. It came with UFC 3. I don't remember if it was UFC 2 or UFC 3, but one of the UFC games, and the next gen version of GTA 5, because obviously GTA 5 originally came out on Xbox 360 and PS3, but obviously got that next gen update with PS4 and Xbox One. You go first person, and dude, that was groundbreaking. I remember obviously like the different camera like views you could have on like GTA 4, and wait, was I talking about GTA 3 before? No, I played GTA 4, I mean, because GTA 4 had the Ballad of Gay Tony DLC, and I actually never played the original GTA 4. Because I thought, the Ballad of Gay Tony was GTA 4. Like, that was the full thing. But, okay, yeah, I think I was talking about GTA 3 before. But yeah, GTA 4, sorry if I was talking about that before. Shit, what was I even talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. I gotta watch this. Okay, I'm back from watching it back. Yeah, so on GTA 4, they obviously had those camera angles that you could change between through. What? You can switch between like some camera stuff. Like when you were in a car, you could like switch the camera angles and stuff. And there was one where it would switch to a view of over like the hood. Like the hood of the car. And that was kind of the closest you got to first person. But in the original version of GTA 5, that was also the case. Like the closest you had was over the hood of the car. But GTA 5 comes out on next gen. I don't know if it was like the processing power or something, but that first person was crazy, man. I remember like first doing it, and I was just like, holy crap. That was back in like 2016, man. I miss PS4 days, man. Like, oh, the only game I played back then really consistently was Rainbow Six Siege, man. Yeah, I had a lot of games on PS4, especially from my brother buying games. I really only played Rainbow Six Siege. Like that was my game. If I ever did play GTA 5, it was usually on my brother's account because he actually played online. And it's just, he had nice cars. Like he had nice cars, like in terms of my like opinion, because back then I was a kid, I didn't really like know what the good cars were, because whenever I did play GTA 5 on my account, it was usually only on story mode, and I'd play as like Michael, and I thought those were pretty nice cars, like whatever cars I had like the Zentorno, and I was like, damn, this is like the coolest car in the game. My Zentorno was like chrome, it had black wheels or black rims, it had the custom tires, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So then when I see these cars on my brother's account that don't exist on story mode, I was just like, okay, these are cool. But in reality, it was kind of, his cars were kind of just like doo-doo butt compared to like what my friends had that like actually played GTA 5 a lot. And eventually when I started playing GTA 5 online myself, I wasn't really feeling it. You know, I wanted to feel like I was really good in GTA 5 online back then, but I literally had nothing because I did not want to do the heists. You know, like I mean, I didn't really have anyone to do the heists with, so I couldn't make money. Couldn't get XP, couldn't buy any cars, couldn't customize anything, you know, so I was just broke and I didn't really know what to do. Literally, I got the Oppressor Mark 1 and this other car that was like really expensive. I got both of them by being so lucky because I got the both of them from the Diamond Casino wheel, and I was just like, yeah. I didn't even upgrade them because I didn't have the facilities to. I couldn't do anything with my Oppressor Mark 1, and I was too broke to afford any of the actual upgrades for, you know, that really cool car. Because first of all, I was only like level 12 and I probably at most had like maybe 20,000 in the bank. And yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. I just realized that I was kind of supposed to like have a deep talk about like my tastes and like gaming and stuff, because before this, like, I was talking about something, I don't know, but it's supposed to be more deep than just talking about fucking GTA 5 cars and shit. I don't know. What else could I be talking about? Because I was talking about gaming tastes, and I kind of just devolved into talking about my memories of old games and like how I used to game when I was a little jitnum. Because yeah, I didn't have anything. I wasn't, you know, I liked that quick fun. That's why I loved playing Rainbow Six Siege so much, because it was quick, you know, like I played a lot of casuals, so, you know, those 2-minute rounds were just enough for me to have fun and, you know, not get bored. I started playing Rainbow Six Siege literally back in the first update with Black Ice in 2015, and I thought it was like so cool. I got it from the Mississauga Public Library, and I don't know how many other libraries do this, but they would let you rent out games like they were books. So like they would literally have their own separate section. It wasn't a big section, it was literally like one small shelf, and there were, you know, games that you could get, you know, for Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360. Probably had some PS3 stuff I never saw, but yeah, I got Rainbow Six Siege for PS4 for the first time there, and I really liked it. Uh, so ever since then, I was kind of just hooked onto it for like the next years, man. I don't remember when the last time I played PS or yeah, PlayStation Rainbow Six Siege. Because eventually I just maybe 2021 I just started playing Siege on my PC because obviously I had a PC now, and I kind of just stopped playing PS4 Siege entirely. But yeah, I literally played that with my friend group at that time. It wasn't an in-person friend group. It was literally, I think back in 2017, I met these two guys playing Siege. Okay, I was playing Theme Park, like the original Theme Park on Siege back in Operation Blood Orchid 2017, and I met these two guys. Their names were Tobin and Brody, and I still follow them on Instagram to this day, which is kind of funny. But these two kids, obviously Brody and Tobin, I don't even know why, but I just started talking to them like in game chat, and that kind of just devolved into us being friends for like the next 4 or 5 years. And it was crazy. I mean, we played pretty much everything together back when PS4 parties were still popping. Like, going into a PS4 party at that time was like going into like an actual party. Like, it was just, especially when you were young, like it was just lit, man. Like, they introduced me to like all their friends. Like, shit, man. Like Alex, Tobin's girlfriend, Morgan. Should I be saying their names? I don't know. I don't think they'll ever see this. She was his girlfriend at the time. They broke up a long time ago. Yeah, I think they're living their lives now. Obviously, we don't have any bad feelings towards each other. We don't talk anymore, so you know, we don't have any bad feelings towards each other. We kind of just drifted apart because they were still playing on, you know, PlayStation when I moved on to playing on PC. And eventually 2020 we did get a PS5 that I've been using ever since. Excuse me. But I never really use it anymore. And the only time I did use it was, the last time I used it was probably to play Death Stranding 2. And that was it. Yeah, ever since then I've really just been playing on PC. I've had 3 PCs so far. My first one was obviously, you know, my brother's PC, my brother's old PC. My second one I got for my birthday. It wasn't much of an upgrade, but it definitely was an upgrade. I got it for like $500. Honestly, I got scammed so hard for that PC. I spent $500 on like a decent rig that I probably could have got for like $250. It ran decently. Like, I was able to play some like games from maybe 2017 max. Anything more than that would be too much. And now I got my other brother's PC, which is much better, and I got it for free because he got his new PC, and he was just like, okay, I'll just give you this one. This one's really nice. RTX 2060, definitely not the best rig, but you know, it's not like I'm running the most recent games. You know, I play a lot of indie games, classics. You know, I kind of just live with the philosophy like, oh shit, hold on, oh, damn you. I've kind of always just lived, or not lived, but like I've kind of gamed with the philosophy of like, you don't need to buy the newest games if you haven't played the classics. You know, like, why are you playing the newest Yakuza games when you haven't played... You don't even need to play the original Yakuza games. Like, you could play 0, Kiwami 1 and 2 over the original, you know, Yakuza 1 and 2. You know, like, you don't need to always get the newest games. Obviously, I've spent a lot of money on gaming, but most of them are not from like the last 5 years. Okay, obviously I have bought a lot of games that have been made recently, but most of it is not. Like, so much of it is games I've played before, but I never finished because I was like so young, and either I didn't finish it, I was too young to remember it, or it was just an experience I wanted to have again. Like, for example, Battle Block Theater, I only played the demo. I don't know how many times I've played the demo on Xbox 360 when I was younger, but I played it so much. And then maybe like 2023 or 2022, I buy the full game for like $5 on Steam, and I finish it. I played it a couple times with some of my friends, and you know, it's an experience that, you know, obviously fit the criteria. I didn't finish it, and it was just an experience I wanted to have again. What's some other games? Monster Hunter World. I have like hundreds of hours, possibly I have like a couple thousand hours on Monster Hunter World on PS4. And then I was like thinking about it one day, and I was like scrolling through Steam, and I was like, damn, what should I buy? And I bought Monster Hunter World again on PC, and I've sunk like 400 hours into it. You know, I've hunted every monster in the game. I've modded it. Like, I don't need to buy Monster Hunter Wilds, even though I did. I bought Monster Hunter Wilds, and you know, I love it. I love it to death. I bought Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. I have probably like 200 hours on both, and I love it. You know, again, I don't need the most recent games in order to have fun on my PC, because I like playing new games, I like playing old games, I like playing games of all genres really. Hack and slash, shooters, platformers. I mean, it's kind of just, again, been an amalgamation of my taste over the years, just kind of all combining into one Steam account, which is kind of funny. I think when I first started PC gaming, if I were to look in my purchase history, I don't know what games would come up first, because you know, I've obviously bought a lot of stuff, and kind of trying to pinpoint my taste in gaming from like before 2023 is kind of hard to do. I will tell you, the first game I ever played on Steam was... Actually, no. The first game I ever owned on Steam was Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2, I really like Dishonored 1 on PS4, but when my brother first gave me his PC back in 2020 for my birthday, I was also given like kind of like a choice in what game I wanted to have first, because he was just like, you know, he was feeling nice and he wanted to give me a game, you know, for my first ever computer game, and it was Dishonored 2. So I played through that probably like 3 times in total. Pretty easy game. It becomes pretty short once you know where to go, which abilities to get, and you know, it's a pretty nice speed run game to like waste time on. I don't know what other games I could have got. But anyways, so again, a lot of tastes have gone in and out of kind of my rotation for gaming. But I think the biggest kind of shift in like my gaming taste was for RPGs. Okay, especially when I was younger. Like, okay, you know what? Even like a few years ago, let's say 2021 to 2022, when I had the PS5, and this was back when kind of like the PS4 was finally dying, and you know, PlayStation wanted to switch over to focusing on the PS5. So they made this kind of like farewell bundle with some free games, and you know, this included like Infamous Second Son, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. Wait, what was it called? I don't think it was called Royal Edition. It was something, but you know, it had all the DLCs. Had The Last of Us, the original Last of Us remastered. Infamous Second Son, I don't know if I said that already. Shit, what else? I don't remember. But among it was Persona 5 Royal. Okay, Persona 5 Royal is kind of like a weird story to me, because I tried playing Persona 5 Royal so many times, and I just never really got into it. Like, the premise of it was like really nice, and I wanted to, you know, play it, but I never even got past trying to get out of the station. And I deleted it. I downloaded it and deleted it like a total of 3 times on PS5, and I was just like, oh, fuck this. But fast forward maybe a year or two, like 2023. It's like mid 2023, and I have Xbox Game Pass, okay? And on Xbox Game Pass, all of the Persona games are, you know, able to be played. So I look at them, and it's just like, okay, when I mean all the Persona games, I mean like Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal, okay? I see Persona 4 Golden, and I'm just like, I'm so bored, because, you know, I think at that point I was still playing a lot of Devil May Cry, and DMC5 and DMC4, I was playing through it a lot, and I was just like, damn, I'm really bored. I do not want to like play another action game right now. So I'm looking at the download page, and it's just like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll play Persona 4 Golden. And Persona 4 Golden was probably one of my favorite experiences of all time, man. Because this was during the summer. Okay? So the thing about Persona 4 Golden, I love it for the exact opposite reasons why I love Persona 5 Royal. Okay? Persona 4 Golden, I feel like focuses much more on the actual characters and dialogue than Persona 5, which is more about the actual gameplay. Because look, Persona 4 Golden, at this point in my gaming career, I did not like games that were very story driven and very dialogue intensive. Okay, even now I still skip cutscenes if I'm playing a game that has good combat. Okay, like I just want to play the actual game. I'm not someone who's big on developing characters or knowing the lore or knowing the backstory behind things, because I just want to play the game. That's why I love action games so much. That's why I love DMC5. That's why I love Assault Spy. That's why I love Soulsborne games, because they have nice, satisfying combat. But when it comes to cutscenes or like reading logs or reading notes, I don't really care much about them. I like to have cool weapons and kill monsters or my enemies or whatever. So when I finally get into this game that is Persona 4 Golden during summer of 2023, I find it so weird that I'm so captivated by the characters and I'm actually interested, because the premise is very simple. Like there's a string of mysterious murders that happen in this small town, and you and your friends go into this mysterious TV world and you try to solve it because it is a supernatural threat. Very simple, but the characters and the interactions you have with these people from school is just so like it really captured my attention for some reason, and I loved it. It was more focused on actually the social aspects of Persona rather than Persona 5, which is more gameplay and intensive, which technically would be better for someone of my taste, but because it's a Persona game and I like Persona 4's dialogue much more than the actual gameplay, I didn't really like it as much. Okay, but I really do love the gameplay for Persona 5. Persona 4 Golden is just, I really like it. I could explain it, but my love for the social links and just walking around in Persona 4 Golden just is amazing. I love it. Talking to Nanako, hanging out with everybody at Junes. The only bad part of the game is the only bad part about the social stuff is trying to talk to Teddy. Fuck Teddy. But yeah, everything is amazing, man. The music is the best in the series, and I will hold that until I die. Okay, Persona 4 easily has the best music. But the only thing that it falls short in are, what are they even called? Are they just called dungeons? Dude, the dungeons in Persona 4 suck. Okay, it's like Tartarus and Mementos had a baby and it was ugly and retarded. Wait, no, I can't say that. It's a really bad thing. Okay, Persona 4 Golden's dungeons suck. And that is why Persona 5 Royal is my second favorite Persona game, because of its gameplay. You know, very, very nice. You know, the palaces are actually well made. It's just, God, the dialogue is just so long, unnecessary, and convoluted. It's really boring. Okay, the only reason I liked Persona 5 in terms of the social aspect was because of that shogi girl. Dude, she was bad. That girl in the church, dude, she's like Yukiko, but like 100 times finer. And it's just such a stark contrast, and I was just really surprised because Persona 4 Golden was such a breath of fresh air from what I usually played, because I was actually something, what did I just say? It was actually something I enjoyed, you know, listening and reading along with. So with it being such a stark contrast in Persona 5 Royal being so boring, and you know, I just really found it weird. I found myself skipping so much of the dialogue. But you know, it's still really nice. I like walking around in Tokyo and, you know, just talking to people there. I like going around and eating the burger or running on the treadmill in Persona 5 Royal, because, you know, those parts are really nice to me. Those types of things in Persona are what like matters most to me. And you know, I think in both games they really nailed it. Persona 3 Reload, I haven't played too much of it. I played maybe a max of 30 hours. I should be playing it, but I'm just not. I bought it on release day for $100. Actually, I didn't even buy it release day. I pre-bought it so I could install it like maybe a day or two before it actually came out. So yeah, that was kind of like my great shift in terms of gaming. Just paying almost no attention to RPGs or you know, anything of the sorts, because I didn't even like turn-based combat. But Persona 4 Golden just changed my mind so heavily on that, because it was such a nice breath of fresh air, and I love it in every way except the dungeons. Please never do that. If Atlas makes Persona 6, please don't do that, because you did that with Persona 3 Reload. Fuck. Yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna finish this level. But I guess that's really it for today. I don't know. I'll probably still be on this level whenever the next video comes out. Okay. Bye, guys.